Let me give you a simple way to understand the history of the world in just 4 sentences. Number 1. Easy times make people weak. Number 2. Weak people create hard times. Number 3. Hard times make people strong. Number 4. Strong people bring easy times again. That's the cycle. It repeats again and again. There's a book I recommend. It's called The Fourth Turning. This book shows that history moves in patterns. These patterns have been happening for over 1,000 years, from Roman times to today. Every 20 years or so, the world changes in a big way. Every 80 to 100 years, we complete a full cycle. The way we grow up, what we go through, and the time we're born all shape the world around us. Let's look at it like seasons. Not weather seasons, life seasons. 1. Springtime, the beginning of growth. Spring is a time of new beginnings. Businesses grow. The economy gets better. People feel excited and hopeful. Everyone is full of ideas and energy. Have you lived through a time like that? Maybe you remember when things just felt better. People smiled more. There was more joy. In spring, the world feels fresh and full of promise. That's when people are planting seeds, not just on farms, but in their lives. They start businesses, try new things, and believe in the future. 2. Summer, the season of work and struggle. But spring doesn't last forever. Then comes summer. Summer is hot. It's hard. Things don't always go the way we want. People start to struggle. There's tension. Stress. Not everything works as planned. This is the season when we have to work harder. We sweat. We fight through problems. We try to keep going, even when we feel tired. But summer also helps us grow strong. It teaches us patience, effort, and resilience. 3. Fall, a time of abundance and warning. Next comes fall. In fall, everything seems to be working again. There's money flowing. Stocks go up. People buy more things. There's celebration. This is when people start to feel very comfortable. But sometimes, they get too comfortable. They think good times will last forever. They forget that winter always comes. During this time, people can become careless. They take things for granted. They stop preparing for what's next. 4. Winter, the hardest season. Then, suddenly, winter hits. Winter is tough. Money is tight. Prices go up. People lose jobs. There's fear. Anger. Confusion. Families argue. Friends stop talking. Look around. Does the world feel like winter right now? Maybe you've seen people getting upset more easily. There's more fear than joy. People feel stuck. Sad. Scared. But I want you to remember something very important. No winter lasts forever. Yes, it's hard. But it will pass. Just like no storm lasts forever, winter always leads to spring again. You don't have to live in winter just because the world is. Some people stay stuck in fear. But others rise. They grow. They lead instead of follow. Leaders don't wait for the weather to change. They create their own weather. They build their own energy. They focus on what they can control. If the world is dark, be the light. If others are afraid, be brave. If others are confused, get clear. Let me give you a true example from history. Imagine you were born in 1910. The first 20 years of your life would feel like spring. You'd grow up in a time when things were changing fast. Airplanes, radios, new inventions, and excitement everywhere. But then came 1929. The stock market crashed. People lost everything. It was the Great Depression. People who thought they'd have fun and freedom suddenly had to survive. Many people couldn't find work. In the middle of America, a huge dust storm killed the crops. People were hungry and scared. But here's the amazing thing, those weak people didn't stay weak. They became strong. They worked hard. They found a way to survive. And just as things were starting to improve, World War began. That generation went from depression to war. They didn't have a break. But they fought. They stood tall. They became heroes. After the war ended, the world was reshaped. People wanted peace. They wanted joy. In America, the 1950s felt like spring again. People had hope. They built families. There were programs to help soldiers buy homes and start new lives. There was optimism. People were tired of fighting. They didn't want war or pain anymore. They wanted to build. And they did. Then the cycle continued. But cycles always move. The 1960s and 70s brought the next season, summer. There were fights between generations. Older and younger people didn't agree. There were protests and confusion. People asked new questions. What really matters? Is it money, or is it happiness? In the 60s and 70s, students were asked, would you rather learn to be rich or learn to be happy? 82% said they wanted happiness. They cared more about joy and peace than just money. But by the 80s and 90s, things changed again. Fall returned. Wall Street ruled. Money flowed. People wanted success and riches. When students were asked the same question again, 81% now said they wanted the skills to make money. Let me tell you something powerful. Out of the biggest 1,000 companies in the world today, 62% of them were started during a winter, during a recession, during a depression, when times were hard. Why? Because people who start strong in tough times build something powerful. They're not soft. They're focused. They know how to survive and grow. Companies like CNN, FedEx, Disney, Chevron, and Netflix all started when the world was going through hard times. So don't be afraid of winter. Be like them. Build something lasting. You don't need the world to change before you do. You don't need to wait for the news to tell you it's spring. You can decide that your personal season is spring right now. Even in a hard world, you can feel hope. Even when others are afraid, you can feel peace. You have that power. If you want to grow, you need one skill more than anything else. That skill is influence. Influence means you can affect things. You can lead. You can inspire. You can change minds and move hearts. If you want to grow a business, you need influence. If you want to raise great kids, you need influence. If you want to change your habits, you need influence over yourself. You need influence to decide what you eat, how you think, and how you show up in the world. If you want to influence others, first influence yourself. Train your mind. Train your emotions. Build your habits. Don't just say, I'm tired, and give up. Say, I'm tired, but I'm still going. Don't wait for motivation. Create it. Don't wait for someone to save you. Be your own hero. When you grow yourself, you grow your power. And when you have power, you don't fear winter. You use it to get better. So let me ask you, will you wait for the season to change? Or will you change yourself? Will you complain about the cold? Or will you build a fire inside? You don't have to be a victim of the world. You can be a leader in it. You can rise when others fall. You can love when others hate. You can believe when others doubt. That's your choice. Spring will come. It always does. But don't wait for it. Be ready. Be strong. Be smart. Use this time. Learn. Grow. Build. Remember this. Winter is not the end. It's just the beginning of your strength. And when you rise in winter, you'll shine even brighter in spring. No season lasts forever, but who you become in the hard times will define your life. You were not born to break, you were born to rise. Pain shapes strength. Struggle builds character. Never forget. The strongest souls are forged in fire. Your future is not written by the world, it's written by the choices you made today.
Please like and subscribe for more videos.